President Donald Trump has long voiced concerns about unfair trade practices, particularly with China. He points to the large trade deficit, arguing that the United States imports far more than it exports. This imbalance, Trump believes, hurts American businesses and costs American jobs. His solution? Tariffs. In 2025, Trump escalated his tariff strategy, slapping hefty taxes on goods imported from China and other countries. The goal is to make foreign products more expensive, encouraging consumers to buy American-made goods instead. This, Trump argues, will protect U.S. industries and bring back jobs. However, not everyone agrees with this approach. Critics argue that tariffs are essentially a tax on American consumers, leading to higher prices for everyday goods. They also fear that tariffs could spark a trade war, hurting the global economy and ultimately harming American businesses and workers. Tariffs are essentially taxes imposed on goods imported from other countries. They are designed to make foreign products more expensive, thereby making domestic goods more appealing to consumers. For example, a 25% tariff on imported steel would increase the price of that steel, making American-made steel more competitive. The Trump administration imposed a 145% tariff on a wide range of Chinese goods, including electronics, clothing, and machinery. This dramatic increase came after a series of escalations throughout 2024 and 2025. In retaliation, China slapped a 125% tariff on many U.S. goods. The hope is that these tariffs will incentivize American companies to bring manufacturing back to the United States and encourage consumers to buy American. However, the complexity of global supply chains makes this outcome far from certain. Moreover, critics argue that tariffs will simply lead to higher prices for consumers and retaliatory tariffs from trading partners, ultimately hurting the U.S. economy. Trump's aggressive tariff strategy has been met with strong opposition from U.S. trading partners. China, the primary target, has accused the United States of protectionism and unfair trade practices. In response to U.S. tariffs, China has imposed its own retaliatory tariffs on a range of American goods, including agricultural products like soybeans, which are a key export for American farmers. Canada and Mexico, both part of the renegotiated trade agreement with the United States, have also expressed concerns. While Mexico has focused on increased border security and cooperation, Canada has directly challenged Trump's justification for tariffs, particularly his claims linking Canada to fentanyl trafficking. Canada argues that it has invested heavily in border security and that the vast majority of fentanyl entering the United States originates elsewhere. The escalating trade tensions have created uncertainty in the global market and raised concerns about a potential trade war. The interconnected nature of the global economy means that a trade war between these major players could have far-reaching consequences, potentially leading to slower economic growth and job losses worldwide. Whether Trump's tariff strategy will achieve its intended goals remains highly uncertain. Proponents argue that tariffs are necessary to protect American jobs and reduce the trade deficit. They hope that by making foreign goods more expensive, consumers will choose to buy American, boosting domestic industries. However, critics, including many economists, are skeptical. They argue that tariffs are essentially a tax on American consumers, who will end up paying more for everyday goods. The Tax Foundation, a nonpartisan think tank, estimates that the tariffs will cost the average U.S. household an additional $2,100 in 2025 alone. Furthermore, critics argue that tariffs are unlikely to significantly impact the trade deficit. They point out that the U.S. economy relies heavily on imports, and tariffs could disrupt complex global supply chains, leading to shortages and higher prices. Additionally, retaliatory tariffs from China and other countries could harm American businesses that rely on exports. In conclusion, while Trump's tariff strategy aims to protect American jobs and reduce the trade deficit, its effectiveness remains questionable. The potential for higher prices for consumers, retaliatory tariffs from trading partners, and disruptions to global supply chains raises serious concerns about the long-term economic consequences. Only time will tell whether this gamble will pay off or ultimately backfire.